I'm SuperGameEskimo and this is my top 10 hairstyles in gaming. Spoiler, I'm number 1.
Generally speaking, hair doesn't usually play a large role in video games. Well, not unless it's a game about hairstyling. Besides that though, hair sort of just sits there on a character's head not doing much. But imagine if hair didn't exist. To some characters, that's all they've got. So here are just 10 of the best hairdos in gaming. Enjoy. Although it hasn't been released yet, Splatoon is shaping up to be one of the coolest looking games for the Wii U, and I'm super excited about it. The only thing that's let me down so far are the enemy characters. They kind of remind me of Fungus from Monsters Inc. in that scene where he gets his face sucked. But aside from gameplay, what I've found to be most interesting are all the crazy and unique hairstyles all the characters have, particularly this guy. But my favourite is the enemy octopus girl. There's not much to say about her because she only appears in the trailer for a total of 3 seconds, but this is more of an honorary mention because she's one of the reasons I'm even doing this list in the first place. So yeah. For the most part, Mario characters don't really have hair. But even when they do, it's usually covered by a hat. Or in Toadette's case, your hair is your hat? But that doesn't matter because I'm not going with Toadette here. I'm going with Peach. And I know what you're thinking. Peach? Come on. I'll agree it's nothing special most of the time, but in Mario Sunshine, her hair holds a lot of significance. This was the first time we saw Peach outside of the castle, and here she acted more like a person, rather than just a damsel in distress. I mean, sure, she did that as well, but she definitely had more personality here. And as simple as it is, her hair played a big part in showing us that. Too bad all she does is complain though. Shush, I'm just trying to do my job. I've been playing Catherine a lot recently, and I've gotta say, what the hell is that? But never mind that for now, let's talk about hair. The 3 main characters, Vincent, Catherine, and Catherine, all have hair. So, which one is it gonna be? Well, it's not Vincent. It's also not Catherine. So our winner is Catherine. At a first glance, Catherine's hair design seems kind of random with no real significance. But if you take a second to properly analyze it, then it does seem to resemble a pair of ram's horns, which would be pretty significant actually. You see, in Vincent's dreams he sees other people as sheep, and at one point he says something to his friend about Catherine being his type. In other words, Vincent's perfect girl, which could be interpreted as the girl of his dreams. And what does he find in his dreams? Sheep. I haven't completed it yet, so I'm not sure if this comes into play anywhere, but if it does, I so called that.
Now take a hint and get out of here.
Karate Kong has cool hair, so I don't even care that I don't have anything to say. I'm putting him on the list. Don't you just love the fact that in Banjo-Kazooie you spend 100% of the game rescuing Tooty? And then, in the sequel, she isn't so much as well, she's getting mentioned here, but because of how weird her hair actually is if you think about it. Why is the hair on her head a different length and a different colour? Simple. Tooty trims and dyes her hair. Meaning that potentially if she didn't trim, she could look like Cousin It from Addams Family, and that would be awesome. Because remember that scene where Grunty takes Tooty's beauty and comes out looking like this? Imagine if instead, she came out like this. I've been a fan of the Koopa kids ever since their debut in Super Mario Bros. 3. And I'm so glad they're finally being used again. But what the frig, Nintendo? How dare you tell me these are Bowser's children and then tarnish it by telling me they're just his generals or something? That's bull hockey. They suck! And when they were his kids, it made sense that they sucked because Bowser didn't care how well they performed in battle. He was just trying to show his support for his kids that so eagerly wanted to follow in his footsteps. He was a proud parent. He was just doing his best. And now you've messed it all up and I'm very, very confused. Oh, and if you were wondering who made it to the top 10 best hairstyles in gaming, It was Ludwig von Koopa, because he's the best one. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. I know that Sonic Unleashed has its fair share of flaws.
Come on, babe, let's dance the night away!
Mainly due to the Werehog sections. But despite being the worst part of Sonic Unleashed, I actually really like the Werehog's design. He's got the boots, he's got the claws, he's got the fur. There's just something about the colour and markings that make the Werehog one of my favourite character designs ever. And for the record, yes, I'm counting fur as hair. Wind Waker is definitely one of my favourite Zelda games, and I'll never understand why there was so much backlash over its cartoony style. Look at the pig, look at the blades of grass, look at that girl's hair. It's glorious. Do you not want to touch? Cause I want to touch. Now initially I did plan on giving this spot to Tetra, seeing as she has one of my favourite hairstyles in the entire series. But as cliche as it sounds, I'm actually going to pick Link here, but for good reason. His hair might not be as unique as Tetra's, but it does have certain special powers. Like being impervious to heat damage, being waterproof, and oh yeah, the ability to go behind Link's eyes. Magic! Life is Strange is a fairly recent title. It follows a photography student called Max that finds out that she can rewind time. And since Back to the Future is one of my all-time favourite movies, this game's plot appeals to me. Plus, it is set in October, meaning that there are a few Halloween decorations about, which is pretty cool. But most importantly, there is hair. Now, if you've already played the game, you know that Chloe is obviously who I'm going to go with here. Whilst not as insane or as wacky as some of the others I've mentioned, Chloe's hair definitely stands out in her world. The first time you see her, you just know she's going to be an interesting character because of it, and that's why she's so high on this list. And it also helps that this shade of blue is also my favourite colour. So yeah, I am biased as heck with this one, but it's my list, and I'll do what I want. Wow, would you look at that? I've got the #1 hairstyle in game. Nah, it's actually Midna from Twilight Princess. Sorry, me. So you might be wondering why Midna? Well, aside from being one of my favourite Zelda characters, I just feel like she has a hairstyle that ticks every box. See, for a game that tries to be realistic and dull, Midna is really bright and out of place. In fact, the brightest thing in the entire game is Midna's hair. Although from the front her headpiece steals the show, you view 95% of all Midna appearances from behind, so you'll see her hair way more often. And unlike anyone else in this list, Midna's hair actually has a purpose. Using it, she can hold things, attack enemies, and even do this floor thingy that I don't really know the name of, so I just call it that floor thingy. Alright Midna, use that floor thingy just like we practiced! It's super effective! Woohoo! Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked this, then be sure to check out some of my other videos. And if you have an idea for a top 10 you'd like to see, let me know and I might just do it. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and to like and favorite this video. And that's it. I'm SuperGameEskimo and I'll see you soon. Buena suela. Whatever that means.